Japan are out of the Asian Cup in the quarterfinals after a disastrous showing against Iran. They were the massive favourites for this tournament. Nobody gave anyone else a chance because their squad is that talented, and they beat Germany, they beat Spain at the World Cup. Yet against Iran, they looked pathetic. It was nothing short of embarrassing. They go 1-0 up in the first half, 28 minutes in, with Moriyasu scoring. Very big mistake from the centre-back Kanani, who doesn't judge it well, goes forward, misses it, mistimes it, and then Moriyasu just sneaks past him, and Bayram Van should have done better as well. They go 1-0 up, and then they absolutely, they just lose everything. They didn't want to go forward anymore. They didn't want to do anything, right? In those first 30 minutes, they looked like the better team. Iran had a few opportunities, but Japan controlled possession, and they looked like the better team. But then after that, it was done. And Hajime Moriyasu got the tactics wrong. He got the lineup wrong. And in my opinion, he has to be sacked now, because it's just countless examples of these embarrassing decisions from him. Okay, think about Costa Rica at the World Cup. Underestimated them, and then they ended up losing that game 1-0, right? It was embarrassing. And then against Croatia, why was he trying to go to penalties against that Croatia team? It was wrong again at the World Cup. It was wrong, and he got it wrong again. He got it wrong against Iraq, and now he got it wrong against Iran as well, because Iran outclassed them, and it should have definitely been more than 2-1. They had 17 shots, right? And they basically, they offered so much more than the Japanese. In terms of who was the Japanese good players, you can only really point out Takahiro Tomiyasu and, which is a bright spark, Zion Suzuki, who I feel like was his best game. But the entire team was rubbish. Okay, I'm going to go straight to it. Ko Itakura. I didn't think he should have started. He was horrible against Iraq. In the air, he's been bullied this entire tournament, yet he started him. And look at what a mistake that turned out to be. I saw links Liverpool with Ko Itakura. I was looking at that like, please, God help me. I do not want that man at my club. It's a big day today for Liverpool. We're playing Arsenal. If Ko Itakura was starting, I would not be confident, because he got outclassed so much, right? If you think about the goals. The first goal, he just doesn't get near him. He allows perfectly. He allows Mohebi to take the shot. Brilliantly plays. Suzuki can't do anything about that. Then he gives away the penalty late on. But it's not just that. He had so many errors, right? There was that one shot. It was the Azmoun goal that was called offside, right? He just slides in and just gives Azmoun the perfect opportunity to get his shot away and place it into the one corner. It was horrible. Then he had another one where Jahanbash, I think, or Azmoun, one of the two, just completely bodied him. That was Jahanbash, I think. And then managed to get the volley on in the first half and stuff. There were countless examples of him just getting bullied, and I thought Sardar Azmoun, who had a brilliant game himself, tore him a new one. What a player he was, bro. Sardar Azmoun was sensational, and he destroyed Ko Itakura. If we're looking at the rest of that backline, I said Tomiyasu was fine, but Maikuma, the right back, rubbish. Again, rubbish. Like Mohebi done him, right? I think the left back, right, Hiroki Ito, man offered absolutely nothing going forward, and he was caught out defensively as well, right? The midfield, I thought Wataru Endo, I'm happy that Liverpool, we're going to get him back now, but he didn't look very good. Takefusa Kubo has had a terrible tournament. He's looked wasted in his position, right? He's playing midfield. He got hooked as well early. He was the first sub that Moriyasu made. Playing in that position, maybe that's partly tactics, but also he hasn't really showed us any moments of individual brilliance. Against Iran, he was quiet. I feel like the midfield of Ebrahimi and Ezzatullahi absolutely wrecked him, right? Those two were fantastic. I mean, Ezzatullahi probably should have definitely got booked, but did really, really well in that game. I thought that Iranian midfield was fantastic. I think the only thing that let them down in the game was the centre-backs, right? Especially Kanani. But then, of course, don't forget, that Kanani was the one who won the penalty at the end, so he redeemed himself, and they were brilliant. I thought the right back, Ramin Razayan, I thought he was great. I feel like when Mitoma came on, he kept him quiet. Someone who was very good, which was a surprise, was Daizen Maeda. I thought Daizen Maeda, another bright spark for Japan, when he was on the pitch, he was one of your best players, Japanese fans. What does Moriyasu do? 67 minutes come knocking, he takes him off. Complete and utter incompetence out there. Ritsu Doan was so infuriating. Man offered nothing, right? I thought his passing was sloppy, right? His one-on-one dribbling was not good at all, right? And then up front, Ueda, man struggled to get in the game, right? He had a few chances, right? He missed a big chance as well. Had a few like headers and stuff, but bro, again, It wasn't it. It truly wasn't it. Really couldn't try and get, like, as we said, the Iranian centre-backs, they didn't have a great game. Ueda couldn't take advantage of it. In terms of substitutes, Takumi Minamino had a quiet game. Mitoma, when he came on, they were trying to play hero ball to him. I was like, that is not how you're going to beat Iran. And as soon as Japan scored, I was thinking, Iran going to score next. Because Iran were dominating them. Japan weren't doing nothing. And as we saw it, Korea did the same to Australia. They did the same to Saudi Arabia. When you push for that long, you will eventually score. And when they scored the first and they kept pushing, I knew they were going to score another. And then the penalty came, perfect opportunity. I don't know what Ko Itakura was doing there. Gave away the penalty. Jahanbash beautifully slots it in. And the Iranians look incredible. They look so, so good. And they did all this without their best player, Mehdi Taremi. What can I say? Mehdi Taremi is now going to be back for the semi-finals against Qatar, and watch my other video to see that, but I think Iran will annihilate them. I think Iran are going to make the finals, and I think they're going to win this tournament. Iran will win this tournament. They've looked so solid. I feel like everything, like Taremi, everything, like when Taremi was suspended, they managed to find a way to do it. Saman Ghoddos in the midfield has looked unreal at this tournament. I thought Jahanbash was so solid yesterday, and the way the Japanese played, bro, it really wasn't it. They have issues. They have issues. I've pinpointed Moriyasu and his tactical flaws. He just doesn't get it right. In these crunch moments, when they really need him to get it right, he doesn't get it right. And they are a team that should be looking at quarterfinals minimum at the next World Cup, because they have that level of talent. And that's where they should be looking. Moriyasu is not going to take you there. We've seen it countless times. He just hasn't done it, right? He just hasn't done it. And what does this mean for Japan? Going into this tournament as a massive favourite, getting a very favourable group, and now even getting to play Iran without Mehdi Taremi, going 1-0 up and still losing the game. It is embarrassing. It is not good, and it is a failure for this Japanese team. They've got to wait another 4 years for the Asian Cup. They've got the World Cup in 2 years. Who's going to be the new manager? I haven't seen anything about Moriyasu being sacked. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe it will. Maybe he resigns. I don't know. But I think he should, because this Japanese team has so much talent, and he got everything wrong. Everything that could have gone wrong, he got wrong. I mean, as I said, Ko Itakura was having a terrible game before the penalty given away, before the goal even, right? Got himself booked in the first half, and he was looking shaky. He was looking so shaky. In the air, he was looking pathetic, right? It was pitiful. Man did not take him off. I was looking at it like, surely after this, you hook him at halftime or something. You take him off. You bring on Machida or something like that. Oh, no. Moriyasu keeps him on, goes on to make 2 mistakes. They lose the game, and who's to blame? It's definitely the manager, Hajime Moriyasu. I mean, it's just not good. It's just not good enough. I mean, they were by far the favourites for this tournament. They by far have the strongest team on the continent, and they had a favourable draw as well. They got to play Bahrain in the first knockout round of the last 16, and if they won this game, they'd have got to play Qatar, right? The easiest path to the final we could get. Iran without Taremi, and they still couldn't do it. It is not good for the Japanese team, but let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. Drop a like, and I'll see you guys soon.